In this video, I want to have more of a candid, raw talk about the power of becoming more decisive, which is basically the power to make decisions quickly and effectively. Becoming more decisive has literally allowed me to 10x, if not more, my business and overall just make more progress more quickly in whatever it is that I'm working on. So I figured I'd make this video in that hopefully it would be valuable to someone. And hey, really quick, if you're new here, I'm Connor and I'm just a dude who likes to make videos who figured out a way how to make a comfy multiple six-figure income, doing what I love through figuring out the whole business side. And now I'm here to share my tips and strategies so that you can do the same. And I don't need to be making these videos, guys. Like seriously, both my video and coaching businesses would grow just fine without them. I just want you to have the info that I seriously wish I had 10 plus years ago when I was just starting out on my freelancing journey. So just think this through if this situation sounds at all familiar. When you're faced with a decision, big or even just a small one, you just think and think, and then you don't really make any progress and you end up kind of stuck right where you started. But maybe someone gives you advice or you learn a new thing, but instead of just putting your head down and taking action on that and seeing what happens, you get stuck in your own head, debating if, maybe it's the best path forward or not, or you should be doing something else or doing nothing at all. Then you even start to justify why whatever that advice that you've just received, won't or can't work for you instead of why it can. If any of this is sounding familiar, I think you're going to want to stick around for the rest of this video. So I want to first break down the exact moment that I learned the power of becoming more decisive. And I really want to define what I mean by decisive. So it's basically just, looking at a decision or an action you're about to take as either this or that. Yes or no, then not wasting any more time and just moving forward and seeing what happens. That's what I mean by being decisive. About 5 or 6 years ago, I knew something had to change in my video business. I was only pulling in probably $2,000 a month, which was just barely enough to squeeze by and pay some very basic bills, as you can imagine. For the longest time, I'd consider joining, some coaching programs or getting some sort of help because I needed to make more money. And I was terrified to make that investment. I just kept debating out of fear that, it might not work. That, like I mentioned earlier, I just kept justifying reasons as to why I can't or why I couldn't versus why I can. So honestly, one day, purely for nothing else, I just got fed up of being stuck, knowing that I was capable of more and, I just lacked the secrets that I needed to make it happen. So I took the leap and I dropped $2,000 on a course, which at the time was a decent amount of money because that was an entire month's income before paying for all my bills and everything like that. Then literally the next month, not only had I paid off that entire investment from what I learned in that course, but I actually landed my first $10,000 deal using some of the, to be specific, sales advice that I learned in that program. Part of me was super stoked, but then another part of me was beating myself up for wasting so much time just pondering if I should do it or not. So from that day forward, I think I just sort of subconsciously told myself that I needed to be more decisive. Just collect whatever information was needed to make a decision and then make a yes or no decision. That I needed to just be either all in or all out. And what's crazy as I've grown in my entrepreneurial journey over these past handful of years is I've realized the most successful 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs are insanely decisive. You will never hear the words, I need to think about it, come out of any of these people's mouths. They know that time is not what they need to make an informed decision, but more information. So they simply gather the information needed and they make a decision, yes or no, and they move forward. So just think about some decisions right now that maybe you've been putting off or procrastinating. I'm sure you have a decent laundry list of things that you should be doing, but for some reason you're not. To give you an example, I know a lot of videographers that, they know they should be doing outreach to get new clients, but they're just not. And they're telling themselves that they're not because maybe they don't have a good strategy, which, there's truth to that. Absolutely. That could be true. But I bet you if you just went out there, knocked on, 10 businesses' doors right now and let them know what you do, that you can make them awesome videos, at least one of them is going to become a paying client. Or you could start off by simply opening your laptop and sending off some simple emails to some local businesses or brands, or whatever, DMing some brands on Instagram or connecting with new people on LinkedIn. You just have to start. I'm sure you at least know what you need to start doing right now to just get started. Take one small step forward. Then the pieces to the puzzle, once you do so, will start to come together one at a time as you finally start taking action, even if messy, day after day. You just have to stop living in maybe, in analysis paralysis, and just take the next best step forward. Be decisive. Wake up and just do the thing. Quit thinking about it. Just go do. And before we wrap this one up, because to be honest, I really just want to keep this one super short and sweet, I'll leave you with this. When you take action, I guarantee you one of two things will happen. You're either going to be right or you're either going to be wrong. You're either going to win or you're going to lose. But in both of those situations, you're going to learn something that's going to move you more forward than if you just remained still, living in maybe in your own head, being indecisive. Indecisiveness kills dreams. Just start taking action, start making decisions, and start moving forward. Then you're just going to have to trust me on this one, and you'll thank me later. The rest will start to unfold. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.